Good morning. I'd like to call to order the Audit Subcommittee meeting of the Texas Animal Health Commission, and I'd like to welcome all the public participants. I will now call a roll for the commission members. Mr. Jim Eggleston.
Here.
And I'm Joe Leathers and Mr. Leo Vermidal.
Here.
A quorum is present, either online or in person. And for the record, there are 3 members attending in person, or 2 members attending in person, and 1 member is attending by teleconference. Due to Governor Abbott's March 13, 2020 proclamation of a state of a disaster affecting all counties in Texas due to the coronavirus, COVID-19, and the Governor's March 16, 2020 suspension of certain provisions of the Texas Open Meetings Act, this Audit Subcommittee meeting of the Texas Animal Health Commission is being held in person and by teleconference as authorized under Texas Government Code Section 551.125. At this time, I ask that all public attendees' microphones be muted until such a time as public comment is requested or the individual is called upon or wishes to speak. Also, because this meeting is being held in person and by teleconference, all individuals must identify themselves by first and last name and indicate if they represent themselves or an organization before speaking. Any individual who is requesting to speak by teleconference on a specific agenda item or during the public comment period must press 3 to raise their hand, signifying they wish to speak, and you will be unmuted one at a time and provided with your opportunity to speak, and once finished, place on mute again. Once again, when you are through speaking, please press 3 to lower your hand. I will now take a roll call of public participants who want to provide a public comment. Please state your first and last name. If you represent yourself or an organization and the action item you will comment on, or if you are commenting during the public comment period, if participating by teleconference, please press 3 to be called on. Are there any other public participants wishing to sign up to speak on the agenda item? Seeing none, we will move to agenda item 4. The first item of business on the agenda is the approval of the September 22nd, 2020 Audit Subcommittee meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to approve these minutes?
Mr. Chairman, I vote that we approve the September 22nd, 2020 meeting minutes as discussed today.
Second.
You all state your name, please.
Leo Vermidal made the motion.
Jim Eggleston seconded.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Is there any public comment from anyone in the audience? Is there any public comment from anyone participating by teleconference? If so, please press 3 if you'd like to provide public comment. Seeing none, all in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed by no. The motion carries. The next item of business on the agenda is a report on follow-up prior to the internal audit recommendations from Mr. Rufus. After Mr. Rufus's presentation of okay, Mr. Rufus, would you?
Good morning, Chairman.
Good morning. Welcome.
Commissioners. Glad to be back here in person. My name is Monday Rufus with the firm of Monday Rufus and Company, PC, the accounting firm, and the internal auditor for the Texas Animal Health Commission. I'd like to introduce my long-term associate, Robert Gonzalez, CPA. The first report we have this morning is a follow-up on prior internal audit recommendation as of October 23rd, 2020. What we did, we reviewed the status of internal audit recommendations related to the following: the internal audit of personnel processes. The original report was January 24th, 2018. And the other one was internal audit of Laredo Region Office. The original report was June 13th, 2018. And the last but not the least was the internal audit of information systems security. That audit was performed July 27th, 2018. We'll go right ahead to the report. The first one there was the follow-up on personnel processes. One of the findings we had was that annual employee performance evaluations were not being consistently conducted when we did the audit. So we did note, based on procedures performed, that our recommendation related to performance evaluation has been implemented by management. The second finding there was driving record background checks not being conducted on applicants being hired. We did perform some audit procedures as well in this area, and noted that our recommendation has been implemented. Okay. The other one is the follow-up on the Laredo Region Office. Our recommendation during our audit, we noted that there were some issues related to controls within the fixed asset area and also the supplies area. So during our follow-up, we noted that our recommendation has been implemented by the management at the Laredo Region Office. The last but not the least is the information system security. When we did the audit in 2018, during that audit, we noted that the management did not have a written policy for wireless access. So we did do some audit procedures this time and determined that our recommendation had been implemented by management. Now I'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions.
Anybody have any questions? Do I have a motion to approve the report on follow-up prior and internal audit recommendations? Please state your name.
This is Leo Vermedal. Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the follow-up of prior internal audit recommendations as discussed today.
Jim Eggleston, seconds.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Is there any public comment from anyone in the audience? Is there any public comment from anyone participating by teleconference? If so, please press 3 if you'd like to provide public comment. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
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 And opposed by no. The motion carries. The next item of business on the agenda is the fiscal year 2020 internal audit annual report. Mr. Rufus?
Yes, Commissioners, the fiscal year 2020 annual internal audit report was due November 1st of 2020. It's just a summary of all the audits that we conducted in fiscal year 2020. Again, the report was required to be submitted to the State Auditor's Office, LBB, Governor's Office, and Sunset. So that report was submitted pending the approval of the Commission. So I'll be more than happy to answer your questions related to this.
Do I have a motion to approve the fiscal year 2020 internal audit annual report?
This is Leo Vermedal. Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the fiscal year 2020 internal audit annual report as discussed today.
This is Jim Eggleston, and I second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Is there any public comment from anyone in the audience, or is there any public comment from anyone participating by teleconference? If so, please press 3 if you'd like to provide any public comment. Seeing none, all in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed by no? The motion carries. The next item of business on the agenda is the open records request audit report. Mr. Rufus?
Yes, the Commissioners, we conducted an internal audit of the open record request at the Texas Animal Health Commission. So during that audit, we determined that there was a process for receiving open records. A request can come in by mail, fax, email. We determined that the Texas Animal Health Commission has established a public information policy that is consistent with Texas Government Code Chapter 552 and has made it available on the agency's website. The policy includes the rights of the requesters, responsibilities of the Texas Animal Health Commission as a government body, the information to be released, the cost of records, and information that may be withheld due to an exception. So there's a system in place. We did, however, determine that the process can be improved by updating the current open records request policy and institute a process for periodic review to ensure that the established procedures are still valid and not outdated. So we determined that the policy that was in place was written back in 2007. So the process in place is really not in line with the policy that has been established. So we did recommend to management to update the policy to ensure that that policy is in line with the process that they have currently. And I'll be happy to answer your questions. Yes.
Prior to the update in using the 2007 procedure, I understood that if a request come in, it could be taken by the person receiving it and provide the information if they had access to it. Under the new procedure, does everything have to go through legal before it's okayed?
Yes, I mean, that is the legal, actually, that is the current procedure.
But if the request comes in, legal has to authorize whether it will be handled or not. Do they then handle it, or do they pass it off to whoever has the access to the information?
Well, they will review it and then take it from there.
Okay.
Yes.
So that is a change from the previous policy.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
I have two quick questions. What's the annual number of open records requests that we get, just ballpark? And then have we ever had a follow-up complaint that policy or procedures haven't been complied with? Have we ever gotten our hands slapped for not providing any information?
When we did the audit, I think the number of open records were about 49 open records in 1 year. And we selected a sample of 10 open record requests out of the 49. And we determined that they were in compliance with the government regulations. However, the policy that they have in place was not in line with the process that's been used at that particular time. We did not come across any areas, whereby there were issues with people requesting information and they were not able to get that information. We didn't come across that.
Just for clarification, the original policy was back in 2008. Is that what you said?
2007.
And updates were needed. Have those all been met? The updates, changes?
We were informed that the updates will be made by February 1st, 2021.
Okay.
So
coming
the update, will be up for follow-up.
And then will there be an automatic review of that every 2 years then?
Of the open record request?
Of the policy?
Yes, that's according to them. I don't know yet. When we do the follow-up, then we'll determine exactly what has been done and what the process is going forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any other questions for Mr. Rufus? Do I have a motion to approve the open records request audit report?
This is Leo Vermidal. Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the open records request audit report as discussed today.
This is Jim Eggleston, I second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Is there any public comment from anyone in the audience? Is there any public comment from anyone participating by teleconference? If so, please press 3 if you would like to provide public comment. Seeing none, all in favor of this motion, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed by no? The motion carries. The next item on the agenda is our public comment time. Do we have anybody that wants to speak from the floor? Or from teleconference?
This is Jim Eggleston. Seeing as there may not be any public comment, I want to apologize for not being in person. The last time was COVID. This time, 10 weeks ago, I got run over by 2 fighting Angus bulls, which 5 minutes before were very docile, until they went over the top of me, and I suffered a pretty severe knee injury. So it's not to hobble around. That's the excuse that I have for today. But I do have a large ice pack on my knee, if that helps.
We hope you get feeling better.
Well, I'm out of the cattle business, so I should.
I tell you what, I'm gonna run through this right quick just to make sure that we have all the legalese done, but we don't have any written comments by email or letter prior to the audit subcommittee meeting. And so I'm gonna make sure, is there anyone participating by teleconference or in person that would like to make a comment? Please raise your hand, or by pressing 3, we will unmute each person one at a time. Once your line is unmuted, please state your first and last name. If you represent yourself and an organization, and begin your comment. You will have 3 minutes to speak. Once you have finished speaking, please press 3 to lower your hand. Seeing none, if there is no further business on the agenda, the audit subcommittee meeting is adjourning at 8:19. Thank you.